Hey, good morning. It's Friday and you probably just got your kids off to school and maybe it didn't go so well. I've definitely done videos that started with those exact words before because I've been in that situation. So I'm thinking like, oh, I'm supposed to know how to do this. I'm supposed to know how to get my children to cooperate. I'm supposed to know how to simplify routines, but we just kept getting stuck and I couldn't figure out why. Because I was making it really easy. Guys, you have to do two things. You have to get dressed and you have to eat your breakfast. And I couldn't see what was hard about those things. There's like a beautiful array. Like they didn't have trouble choosing what they wanted to eat and they didn't have trouble choosing what they wanted to wear. I mean, those things can totally be difficult for some kids, but for me it was just like, my kids didn't want to get around to doing it. They had all kinds of other fun things they wanted to do. They wanted to color, they wanted to play Lego, they wanted to read a book with me. So, it was always like, guys, there's only two things you gotta do. Just get dressed and eat breakfast. I thought that was really simple. But every time it was time to go, it was like, oh no, we're running out of time. And then they would come up with all these other things that I was supposed to do. Like, oh, go and get my Pokemon and put it in my backpack. Or I don't want to wear sunscreen today. So it was getting a little bananas. And I finally figured out something that works. And I feel like such a hypocrite because this is totally something I would have told you to do, but now I'm doing it, which means I get to show you how. So this is what we finally did. All right, so this is my iPad. I'm gonna turn up the brightness so you can see. Okay, so I started using this app called Choiceworks, and I've used this for a lot of clients, so I already knew how to do it. It's not that hard to use. I knew that the kids just needed a little bit of structure. So maybe instead of hearing my voice saying, can you please go and get dressed? That's really easy to ignore. That's really easy to kind of take 2 steps toward the stairs and then pet the cat and throw a ball at the wall. So I invited anytime there's a screen in my hand, kids are like, yeah. So come over here, kids, I have something to show you. We're gonna make a schedule together. So I'm just gonna do this from scratch and then I'm gonna show you the one that I'll show you the one that we made. I'm gonna reset it. So this is what the schedule looks like when we made it. That's what the result was for us. So we kind of made it on the fly. I'm gonna set the time. I'm gonna just press play because what this thing does is that it actually reads to the kids. That's why it's so good at eliminating nagging, because you don't have to say anything. You can just do this. Watch.
My schedule. First I need to put on shoes, weather, backpack. Then I can ride bike or take a walk.
Right, so the kids really like riding their bikes to school, but they actually have to get this stuff done in time. You notice that it skipped the part where it said put on sunblock? That's actually one that I made because this comes preloaded with a whole menu of things. If you want to add another one, you totally can. Watch this. You go to add task. If you see what you want to add, you can do that. Or you can hit this little camera button. You can use something from your library, so you can actually take a picture of your child doing it, or you can even take a movie of your child doing it in case it's a few different steps. What kid doesn't like looking at pictures of himself? So we made the put your sunscreen on, and so my kids are quite young. The oldest one is pretty good at typing, but the youngest wanted to participate, so he started typing things into 1 letter at a time, and they helped me put this together. So what do we need to do first? We had actually done already, this is the time to go, that's just getting out the door. This is the one that we made to get the big tasks done. I'm going to reset it and show you again. This was super basic. It took like 2 minutes.
First I need to wake up, go to bathroom, eat breakfast, get dressed. Then I can play or read a book.
Right. So I had them do it with me, and I'm going to show you exactly all those steps afterwards, but believe it or not, this is what happened. I have 2 kids, and I didn't make 2 schedules, I just sort of, because they like going through it, so I went through one of them. I said, did you wake up? And he said, yes, I did. So I let him drag this over here.
Wake up. All done.
Right. I said, did you go to the bathroom? So here's where the positive reinforcement comes in. They've already done this stuff, but I'm letting them know how much I appreciate it and how accomplished they already are. When you start with the easy wins, when you start with a yes, 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 you're going to get the yes that comes next much more easily than if you go with a series of no's or just ask them something difficult out of the blue. So did you go to the bathroom?
Go to bathroom. All done.
Okay. And one of them had eaten their breakfast and the other had gotten dressed, but none of them had done either one. So we had to go through the kids one at a time. Like, oh, which one did you do? Oh yeah,
Breakfast.
you did eat breakfast.
All
Well
done.
done. And then I just stopped. And he ran upstairs. He just disappeared and got his clothes on. It was like some kind of miracle. I was like, how could I not have shared this with you? So this is what we did. If you notice, there's a little reinforcer at the bottom. It's a reward. This doesn't have to be something that you're adding. You don't have to go to the dollar store and buy something. You just put in what you would normally do after that. So one thing that I want to highlight is this is not every single little thing that we did this morning. There's 2 different schedules here. So there's my morning, and then we hang out for a little while. And then when it was time to go out the door, I realized we needed a different schedule. So this has its own set of steps. I wouldn't recommend doing a 15-step routine. I think getting those little chunks and making them really manageable and super easy for the kids is really, really helpful. Okay, so now that you know how it works, I'm going to give you a few tips for actually using it, because I realized I've had some practice with this and not everybody will be able to pick it up and run with it. What actually happened was when we were on our way out the door, I could hear there were a few extra steps that happened today, and my husband had his own idea of when we needed to leave the house, and I could hear him getting kind of grumpy. And I said, hey, can you please, you can just use this. You don't have to use your voice if you're feeling upset and you think it might come across as angry. Just use this. And I put it in his hands. I was like, so he came downstairs and he looked at my son and he did this.
Backpack. Backpack. Backpack.
So unfortunately, he didn't really immediately grasp that this isn't just like an electronic way to nag your children. It's a way to get them involved and help them take responsibility. So I said, oh, hey, sorry, I didn't show you how to use that. Let's do this. Hey, son, did you put on, oh, look, you did put on your shoes. Wait, okay. And then
Put on shoes.
he drags it over. How's the weather today?
Weather.
Oh, it's sunny? Yeah, we don't even need a jacket. Mm-hmm. Did you put on your sunblock? Yes. So look
All
at this.
done.
Yes, yes, yes. Now, the backpack is heavy and is at the top of the stairs. Does he want to get it? No, he doesn't. But we've just given him credit, and a little boost, a little recognition, and there's only one more thing to go, and he can see it visually. So guess what he did?
Backpack.
He ran up the stairs and he got it. You got both backpacks and brought them downstairs. So if you bring in simplicity, expectations, a positive attitude, a little video jazzing it up, you can smooth things out really beautifully. So if you're wondering what this is called, the name of the app is Choiceworks. It costs $10 to $15, but it's very, very, very flexible. There's so many other features I could show you. There's actually feeling scales, and you can make little social stories. It'll set timers in case there's some things that are time sensitive. So I've been using it all over the place lately. My kids are really excited about it. So last night, again, the expectations are always the same. We're super consistent, and I hear people say, just be consistent. And I think, why do my kids act like it's a complete surprise every time I tell them to brush their teeth? But maybe they just need to see it a bit more visually. So I needed to get them transitioning into the bedtime routine last night. This is just a little bonus. This is supposed to be on mornings, but I got very carried away. So we added a 10-minute warning. I said, how long do you want to play? They said 10 minutes. And I said, okay, sure. So we set it up. And look, if your kids aren't very good at reading time, that's okay. Because as you can see, the green circle is starting to disappear. And when there's only a little bit left, then they know that it's almost done. Then, when they're done playing, you can invite them to say, okay, we're done playing. Drag this over here.
Play.
What's next? So it becomes the kids managing themselves. You don't have to do a lot of the verbal instructions. You don't have to do a lot of the reminding or nagging. And that's pretty much a priceless gift in my book. So it's totally worth the $10 to me. If you have any questions about how to use it, let me know. I would love to answer this with you. I'd love to walk through it with you because I just feel like I've been given a great gift and I want to share it. Okay, hope you have a great morning on Monday. Don't forget, put it in your calendar. Okay, bye.